I guess this is what we get for taking jobs willy-nilly. A rich, egotistical snob who thinks he can boss us around. This Lord Alistair is as insufferable as they come, but at least he'll pay well. And his assistant Elsie seems nice for what it's worth. But escorting any sort of nobility to any sort of priest sounds like my worst nightmare come to life. Or something close to it, at least. Well, after leaving a resounding impression on this lord, I decided to trek onward, leading him through the wilderness. Not much of note happened on the journey until nightfall, when we heard rumblings of a distant storm, as a purplish fog rolled in, as quick as the night came along. I guess we'll wait for it to pass.
Let's begin. Where we last left off, our brave adventurers set off, collected their escortee, a Lord Alistair Valdrin, from his little cottage on the outskirts of town, and him and his servant Elsie joined you on your path to Northbray, the small outpost home of a man known as the Priest of Miracles. Now, Lord Alistair Valdrin wants his help healing a lung condition of his. And you all want the extra money in your pockets as you head up towards Mulhessen and eventually the Gilded Gate. Where we actually left off, though, was in the middle of a camp in the woods. The moon was high in the sky, the stars twinkling overhead. It was a little after midnight. Treos, you were taking watch. Felix, you were in your bottle, and everyone else was dozing off against their bedrolls or in their tents. At which point, Treos, you noticed the sky begin to turn a swirling vat of colors, and the fog in the forest rose, almost overtaking where you were. The trees started to swirl, seeming to stand up and walk, and swirling these circles around you. The plants began to whisper. The energy in the air picked up. And then you see Felix, who had been in his bottle, pulled right back out, lying, groaning on the ground in front of you.
Felix, you good?
Well, that's not going to be good. And a little shakes the bottle just a little bit.
I just grab Felix, go to the tent with the other two in there to see if I can wake them up.
Yeah. You can go to the tent. It's a weird feeling moving through what feels to be solid ground, but everything looks around you to be swirling and wobbling. But you make your way to the tent, which also wobbles, and find the door, open it. Reese and Kai are slumbering softly inside.
Great. I go to Reese and just slap him on the face. I go to Reese and slap right across his face to wake up, and just kind of go to Kai and shake him, see if he can wake up.
It's purple out here, guys.
Guys, we listen. Okay, I don't know what's going on. It's definitely magic. It's not good feeling. We need to get going now.
Okay, let's pack up.
I'm gonna. Well, can I peek out the tent and see if his tent is doing anything? Like, is it still closed? Is anything going on with Lord Alistair's tent or whatever?
And you see the soft form of Elsie in a lump on the ground a little ways away from the tent on her own bedroll. Neither of them seem to be roused by these strange happenings, but then again, there's not much sound or anything major happening. It's just this strange energy and these strange visuals, and the vibrating that you felt has come back in a stronger force. As you all huddle into Felix's tent and stare out at the strange world beyond.
Is this what dreaming's like?
Makes sense.
Not right now, Felix.
I'm just curious. That's okay. It's okay. I don't need to know the answers anyway. Should we wake up Elsie and him?
What do we want to do? Do we want to just leave right now, or do we want to wait out and see if anything is coming at us?
Does it seem threatening, or is it like a is something going to happen if we stay here? Or is it more like a scare tactic by something in the forest or whatever this is coming from?
You can't tell. It feels to be an unnatural natural phenomenon. It doesn't seem made. It seems like it's happening, if that makes any sense.
What if I
But it
flash
doesn't.
my eye? Oh,
No, I was saying, it doesn't seem malicious intent.
It's ominous.
From what
certainly.
Okay. That was it.
what happens if I flash my eyes?
If you flash your eyes, the whole world around you seems to light up. In fact, as you flash your eyes and look out, you actually see a crackle of energy in the air just beyond the trees. The fog, which is now illuminated as if white on a black light, lights up with a flash of, and you all see this too, a flash of lightning strikes one of the trees nearby. Felix, in that lightning, with your illuminated eyes, you actually see, as the energy dissipates, what appears to be a face.
Hello.
The face, she seems to be elven, and she seems to be sleeping. Her eyes closed as the face sort of drifts in, her black hair swirling around her, her long pointed ears going behind her, and then the face disappears with the fog.
Where'd you go? I'm gonna go walk over to where I guess the lightning struck. And
Yeah.
the face was.
You wobble your way over there. The trees still seem to be swirling around you, and the fog that your eyes are still flashed is sort of congealing around this one space where the lightning struck. But you look down and you see a log that's been cracked open and blackened and sizzling at the edges, like a natural lightning strike. Nothing else strange seems to be going on beyond
Can I get a magical type from anything?
It is pure chaotic energy.
Wow. We're in a chaos storm. Or chaos fog? There was a girl in here.
I am going to gently wake up Elsie and tell her to get inside the tent.
As you make your way over to Elsie, you can shake her up, and she's like, "Oh, what? What the fuck?" And you can.
It's just a brief storm. Just get inside the tent while it passes.
Can I? I don't think I should go in. Can I join you guys in there? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And she's going to sort of crawl her way over to your tent, not necessarily trusting herself to stand on her legs during all of this. Kai, as you turn back to go back to the tent, you actually see a flash of something in the fog. A familiar face. And then as you peer closer, it's a figure sitting on a log. And it seems to be holding some sort of instrument. You see the furred, hoofed, cloven legs of a satyr. 2 horns, short and stubby, curling backwards. And then you blink and the figure disappears.
I'm not even going to know how to react to that. And I'm just going to hurry Elsie inside to the tent.
Okay, yeah, you can usher her inside to the tent. Treos and Reese, you two are still enmeshed in this tent. The fog can't seem to get through the canvas towards you, and you watch from the safety of inside. Felix, are you still out and about?
Yeah, I'd like to find that woman. I'm just gonna keep looking.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
And or Arcana. How are you looking?
With I'm looking for like magic and stuff because he has the detect magic going. So he's looking for like more pockets like that.
Yeah. As you wander around, the energy swirls around you, and you're able to sort of see through the swirling energy where the actual trees are, where the actual plants are, and make your way. Um, at some point, you think you see a flash of what looks to be another lightning strike, and you see, again, in the further distance, that face appear and then fizzle out.
I'm gonna keep
You
heading
follow
towards it.
it. You're
Yeah.
gonna head
I'm
towards it?
I'm
Yeah,
going
I'm gonna
to
go
leave
up.
the tent and go
Same.
get Felix and try
I'm
and bring
going
him
as
back.
I'm going as fast as I can.
And we're gonna go as fast as we can.
Right. Which you believe,
Yeah. Just you, Kai, running after Felix?
Reese said he was going to as well.
Reese too, yeah. So the three of you run after Felix as you see Felix dart into the woods right after another lightning strike, disappearing behind the trees. You two, without your detect magic, it's a strange, slow, stumbling process, but you're able to keep Felix in your eyesight. Reese, you actually feel this strange feeling come over you as every hair on your body seems to stand up straight, and the sort of feral inside of you almost tries to push to the front of your senses, but you keep going, and you force it back down and force yourself back into sanity, into this moment. You all can run after Felix, and you find him standing where another lightning strike seems to fizzle across the ground and disappear.
is there another face, or have there been no faces
You ran
after
towards
the
that
first one?
face, and you're just
Yes.
kind of waiting for more energy pockets.
Hello?
Are we
Wake
able to
up.
catch up to him?
At this point, you all have caught up to Felix.
I'm gonna grab him.
You're gonna grab him?
I don't want to be grabbed.
All right.
Yeah. So roll, Felix. I guess acrobatic to get out of it, and you roll. Reese, roll to grapple. Roll strength.
15.
15.
Is it strength or athletics?
Whichever's higher. We'll say you're relying
17.
on 17. 17 and 15. Yeah, Felix tries to dodge, but you manage to snag the back of his shirt and pull him back as he goes to run after what was evidently another energy pocket appearing in the distance.
Felix, I don't know.
I'm just gonna.
But we can't be out here.
It's chaos magic. Like the necklace. And there's a girl here, and we need to help her.
Felix, it's whatever this is. It's messing with your mind.
No, it's not. I can see clearly.
Felix,
What?
what you're seeing is not real.
I know it's magic. Magic's real.
It's creating illusions. We need to get back to the tent.
It's not illusion magic.
It's not, but it's not real.
You don't know that.
I know what I saw, and I know that it can't be what I saw.
Why not?
Because what I saw, it's not here.
Why do you
Who
know
I
that?
saw is because, Felix, I just need you to get inside the tent. I have a lot to unpack later tonight, and I can't do it right now.
Well, what if we could learn something?
Learn what, Felix? Can we do this in the tent?
But she's out here.
No, she's not.
I saw her and I point towards the lightning strike if there is one.
Yeah, you all see as another lightning strike flashes, this time actually a little closer to your camp, and Felix points straight at it.
Do we see anything?
You see... Roll an Arcana for me. Both of you.
Not me. Yeah, we're good.
Not you. You can see. You Felix, you see the face of this woman. And this time you almost get a longer glimpse of her as her mouth starts to open and then it fizzles away. What did y'all get?
4.
4?
13.
14?
13.
So Hi, you see lightning. You see as it strikes and then almost disappears as quickly as this flash of light came, and in its wake is a black sizzling spread across the ground. Reese, you sense the heightened buzzing energy as the lightning strikes, and you don't know if it's simply placebo from Felix pointing and saying there's a woman there, or if it's something else. But you seem to see this shape materialize, almost a face, and then it's gone as quickly as you see it. But with this heightened energy, the hairs on your arms stand up, and once again, your feral other side tries to push to the forefront.
Ow! You're grabbing me really hard.
I'm sorry. And I'm gonna start walking. I'm gonna give Felix to Kai and just start walking back to the tent.
Yeah. You give Felix to Kai, and you can start walking back to the tent. As you take this almost wobbly path, ducking around trees that seem to move right when you're about to move around them and seem to move right into your path, and then ducking this way, getting whacked in the head with a branch, you are so focused on on keeping your head, on keeping your thoughts where they are, that you don't notice the obstacle in front of your feet as you trip and stumble. And when you look back, you see the long, prone body of a man lying down, head at almost an unnatural angle. They seem to be wearing what you can tell in the dark, some sort of finery, and they are most definitely not breathing. Hi, and Felix, are you following along? Or still back in the clearing?
I'm not choosing to move.
I'm not dragging you. I'm just going to try and reason with Kai. Or not with Kai. I'm going to try and reason with Felix to go back into the tent.
Okay. So while that happens, we're going to stick with Reese then.
Do I recognize this man?
Do you have dark vision?
It's a great question. Yes, I do.
Okay, so you can see the features of this man relatively clearly, and you can see that you have never seen this man before in your life. But you also notice an insignia, a familiar insignia on his chest, on his finery, for the Bestiaries Guild, specifically for the king.
I'm gonna blink and shake my head and see if he goes away.
He is still very much there. In fact, all of you notice at this point the strange fog in the forest and the clouds almost seems to move, like it's a roving cloud, roving storm, and it's past. And between one breath and the next, you see the fog sort of drift away further south along the forest. and the trees suddenly stand still, and the forest goes dark again.
And he's still there.
And he is still there.
Any sort of... Can I tell what got him? Like, how did he die? If he's dead.
You see several claw marks across his chest. I'm gonna need a survival check. No, a nature check to see if you can tell any further than that.
Probably not. Yeah, that's an 8.
8. Okay. Yeah, it looks like claw marks. You're not sure if it was a wild animal or something else, but it appears to have happened sometime in the last day or so. Not recent, not old.
I'm gonna bend over and grab the insignia off of his chest, and if there's anything of value, I'm going to take it off of his person.
Yeah. So you can take the insignia off his chest. He looks like he should have had a pouch or a coin purse or belongings of some kind, but they all seem to have disappeared. You do notice in his pocket a paper that when you pull out appears to be a letter of some kind, but you can't... Do you take the time to read it?
Not out here.
Okay. Yeah.
But I will pocket that, and I will pocket the insignia.
All right.
And I'm gonna look around for footprints, tracks, any sort of...
That'll be a survival check.
14.
Yeah, you look around, you start in the general area. It looks, you don't find much in the general area. It looks like he'd been dragged to where he was, somewhere off the path. And then you find, heading back in the direction of the path, a few faded old footprints that have been sunken into the wet mud of the rainy day before. Just 2. And then they fizzle out. There's no more after that. But you do see 2 booted footprints.
Okay. They're footprints, so they are footprints, not tracks. And they lead away from the drag marks?
They
I
lead
assume there's some...
towards where it looks like the body was dragged from. Towards the origin.
Okay. How close are Felix and Kai to me?
Well, that can bring us back to Felix and Kai. Kai, you've been trying to reason with Felix to get him to go back. At this point, the storm has passed. What are you all doing?
I'm just going to look at Felix and say, there are things in this world that try and kill you, Felix. And you have to learn that if you want to survive. And I'm going to walk off.
Okay. And at that point, we are going to jump quickly back to Treos.
I will say, if I'm walking back to camp, do I see the dead body?
You see Reese sort of... He took a very roundabout way back to camp. But you see him maybe 10, 15 feet from the edge of the clearing, in the shape of him in the trees.
Okay. Then I'm just going to leave it at that and look at Elsie and say, I don't think Lord Alistair needs to know about any of this, if that's all right.
Okay. Are we supposed to just kind of go to sleep after that?
You can grab your bedroll and sleep inside the tent. We'll take double watch for the rest of the night.
Yes, please. Thank you. Treos, at this point, are you in the tent? What's going on in Treos's world right now?
When the storm was still brewing outside, all his fur on his body is just sticking up in fear the whole time. Any lightning strike, he almost wants to jump and run. But by the time it's died down a little bit, and he's seen Kai make his way back, he just kind of looks at Elsie, checks on her, makes sure she's okay before he walks out the tent.
Yeah, she's shivering with adrenaline and sort of barely reaches out to just drag her bedroll into the tent and curl up. But yeah, then you can make your way back out of the tent. You see Kai has joined you. You also see the dark shape of Reese way beyond the trees for some reason, and Felix. Have you joined them at this point?
No, I sat down.
Okay. Felix is nowhere to be seen.
Kai, I was worried about you guys. What happened in that storm? Everything okay?
Yeah, I think it was just giving visions. I don't know if it was something trying to lead us to something, or if it was just trying to mess with us, but Felix kept saying he saw a woman and he wanted to help her.
What did you see?
Someone I once called a friend.
I understand. If you need to rest, I understand. I can take an extra shift for tonight.
I would appreciate that.
Reese seems okay. He's
I don't know what he's up to right now, but I mean, he was pretty firm, for lack of a better word, with Felix. I don't know what he saw or what he felt, but I can go check on him real quick.
No, I can go. Just stay here for a bit. When we get back, you can rest. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'll make my way to Reese first, since he's closest, and then eventually go to Felix.
Yeah, you can make your way towards Reese. You see, as you get closer, you see Reese hunched over along what looks to be a long body. And as you get closer, you see it's the prone, dead corpse of a man.
Does this look like anyone I would know or have seen?
It does not.
Okay. I just kind of ask question over to Reese. Was this from the storm?
Reese, he'll take a beat to respond. No, this isn't. That storm wasn't natural. Something's up with this.
Mm. No.
Does this look like a person of higher standing within the guilds? Or is this just like another, like just a not lowly, but just like a guild member?
It from the insignia is clearly someone associated with the House of the King.
Okay.
You also, from your exposure, I guess, to the various uniforms of the various roles in the Gilded Gate, you will notice it also looks. They have the robes of a messenger. This was a royal envoy from the king, to whom you don't know. Maybe the letter in your pocket might answer, but
I'm just gonna kind of like give like a moment of silence and some respect. Yeah, something got him. It doesn't sit right. It's animalistic in nature, but all of his belongings are missing. I'm not sure what would have done this.
So he just kind of wandered out in the forest and something got him. A bear,
No.
wolf.
No. I'm gonna hold out the insignia that I had. He's a guild member, a messenger of sorts, probably going from point A to point B, and something got him. I don't think it was.
Listen, friend. And I just put one hand on his shoulder. It's been a long night. Just head back to the tent and rest a bit. I can hold watch, okay?
I think there's going to be a lot of sleep for me, but I appreciate it. And
I
I'll head back.
Before he
I'll put like my hand on.
Before he walks off, I'll say in Thieves' Cant, it's gonna be okay. We stay together. We got this.
He's just gonna walk off.
As you make your way back towards the camp, and the rest of you make your ways back towards the camp, it's a somber night for the rest of the night. Two of you take watch, and maybe you stay in camp a little longer than you would, just to make sure you all get rested, but also can keep extra vigilant throughout the night. But the sun eventually rises, and eventually the tall figure of Lord Alistair Valdrin zips open the tent and steps out, gestures for Elsie to take care of it, and then looks at you all. Well, are we leaving, or not? It is morning, is it not?
It would appear
Gods,
so.
what happened last night?
Bad storm.
I think whatever we ate.
Storm blew through.
If a storm can take care of you all, I'm not sure I hired the right ones, but we are in the woods. Let's go.
Pack up camp and get ready to hit the road.
All right. As the sounds of the forest seem to go back to normal, that strange buzzing that you'd felt, Reese, is entirely gone. It feels strange to wake up today and have almost a normal day after the weird events of the night before. But you're able to pack up camp, and as you actually get back onto the road, you notice it seems to be a little louder than it was before. And if you look over at the clearing where the caravans typically stopped, you actually see a caravan has made its camp in this clearing right off the way of the path. You see a couple of large carriages, some horses grazing in the distance, and what looks to be a family of a few figures seem to sit and have roasting breakfast around the fire. As you walk onto the path and make your way from your camp, they actually look up and they smile and they wave. You can be on your way. The day is
I'll
yours.
smile and wave back.
You notice one of the figures seems to be a more elderly woman with long braids of silvery hair, and she has gemstones draped around her neck in so heavy abundance that you're not entirely sure how she stands up straight. But she takes a look at you all and gives a somber nod and raises her hand as you pass. You carry on?
Yeah. At some point on the trail, I'm going to walk up to Felix.
Yeah. As you make your way, Felix, at some point, Kai comes up next to you and joins you on the path.
Felix doesn't look up. He has quill and paper and is scribbling.
So, Felix, I want to say I'm sorry for what I said last night.
Why does it matter if she wasn't real? You know, if if we can help someone, I think we should. I don't think it matters if we take their money. I don't think that we need to. I don't think that we even need to make them feel good about us having their money. I don't care if we know they're real. We're the good guys, right? We're the
We,
heroes of the story. We're supposed to help
you,
people.
you are Felix. You
You
are a
are
good guy.
too. You are, and so is Treos, and so is Reese. All of you guys are good guys. You guys are you guys went and tried to save a girl even though you didn't have anything. So why was this time different?
Doing doing good things doesn't make you a good person,
Why not?
because doing bad things makes you a bad person. And
Why?
some
Why
people,
why does that work, but doing good things doesn't make you good? What if you had to do something, but you didn't want to? Is that your fault?
some some actions are just louder than others. And Felix, you are genuinely probably the most good-hearted person I have ever met before in my life. And you are an example to me, truly, of what a good heart can look like and what it should look like. But not everyone shares that same heart. And I think what I was trying to tell you last night is that there are some who see that good heart and do what I'm doing and say that's good. But there are many who will see that good heart and will say, I can take advantage of that.
Maybe they just don't know better.
It's exactly that. They don't know better, but they don't want to know better.
Maybe they don't know they don't want to know. Maybe
I feel like we
they
could do this
may-
all day.
maybe they maybe they just need help too, right?
But maybe that's a help you can't give, Felix. Not every not every problem has a solution that you can give.
Yes, it does. You just have to look hard enough.
I love your optimism, Felix. But there is a difference between optimism and reality. And if anything were to happen to you, I don't think I could live with myself. And so I just need to know. I just need you to learn. It doesn't have to be right now. But I need you to learn that there are some problems, some people that you just have to let go. If there is a woman that was not real, it could have been something else trying to lure you there to do something bad. It could have been taking advantage of that good heart and that helping spirit of yours. It was creating a problem that was not there to try and take advantage of you. And so I am sorry for what I said last night and how I said it. But we have to change. I have to change. And you have to grow as well. And I'm sorry that this is being thrown onto you at such a young age. But you are going to have to grow up if you're going to survive in this world.
He gets some very serious eyes as he just looks at you for a second. She was real. This isn't illusion magic. It's chaos magic. We don't know anything about it. We have to learn more. That was real.
We will learn more. but we'll do so safely. I can't risk you running into something that could be a trap, or something that could be dangerous by yourself.
I'm not by myself. Right?
No, I guess you're not.
Good. Because I like being with you guys. It's nice to have someone to talk to.
I agree.
Okay.
And with that, you focus on the walk into the forest. Felix, you turn back to your scribbling. Hi, you can take a step back and rejoin the pack. But as the walk continues, the sun rises, the sun sets. You quickly move into your second day, and as the night comes, you wait for this storm to overtake you again, and nothing does. There's the occasional animal that passes by. Somewhere in the distance, you see the huge lumbering figure of something that moves towards your camp and then moves away. And eventually, on the third day, you make your way into the tall, stake-like gate of what looks to be little more than an outpost. It is a few houses around a large hill in the trees, a large hill and a clearing in the trees, and on top of the hill, you see a slightly larger house with a steeple. You notice around the house on the top of the hill is a set of standing stones, a set of menhirs that tower into the sky, not unlike the ones you'd seen crumbled in the back of Jus's backyard. Not unlike ones you've seen scattered around the landscape if you've traveled anywhere around Sembia. And the villagers give you sort of curious looks as you step in. You notice a few of them are excited, and then when they see it's a group of just travelers, they kind of sit back. As you enter the small outpost of North Bray, what are you doing?
I'm gonna turn back to whatever I refuse to learn his name. And be like, all right, well,
Where's this priest of yours?
Well, that is your job. We've made it to Northbray, but you haven't delivered me to the priest yet, have you?
yeah, where is he?
Well, I imagine the priest of miracles in the small outpost village might be in the center of the small outpost village. And he points to the top of the hill where the giant church stands.
Fantastic. Money really does make people useless, doesn't it?
On the contrary, money makes people not need to have a use. That's your job, if you will.
He's just gonna give a very sarcastic smile and nod.
We'll talk about that buying price.
Yes, we will.
Where was the stones?
You see them, they're actually in a circle around the church at the top of the hill.
Okay.
And you can make your way through this little winding path to through the village up to the top. You actually see these stone steps that carry you straight up to the main entrance of this church. It is unlike all of the rest of the wooden small little shacks and houses in the outpost. The church itself is built from stone in a modest but austere manner. It seems to be one room that goes all the way back, and as you step into the dark interior, blinking to adjust your eyes for a bit, you see a few figures in the back of the church. One of them seems to be kneeling, the other is standing, a hand on their shoulder, and seems to be, with their eyes closed, praying of some kind. but they both look up as you step in. One of them lifts their head. The praying one lifts their head and goes, visitors, yes, come in. Can I help you? And you notice as Lord Alistair strides in, yes, actually, you can. I am here for your... Father Jestray, is it? And the figure inclines their head. Yes, I am here for your services. And Father Jestray just smiles. My services for praying, for... No, your services for healing. I understand you are the priest of miracles. And this figure, who you now see as he strides forward closer into the light, is draped in these long white robes. Seems to be actually a middle-aged man with a bald spot on the top of his head, and very average looking. He has a calm sense about his entire being as he walks up. He looks over you all and nods to you all. Yes, well, I am so sorry to break it to you, but the miracles only happen once a month. I'm afraid you missed the last one. It happened just yesterday. And at this, Lord Alistair, you see he gets this disapproving look, and behind him Elsie goes... And Lord Alistair stands there and goes, yes, well, can it happen more than once a month? And Jessray goes, I'm afraid the magic has to... I have to recharge. I can only... the rituals only happen once a month on the full moon. It requires a strange... I'm sorry, can I pray for you? Why don't you come to the back, and I can sit you down on the altar and pray for your eternal soul and all of this. Come. And Lord Alistair refuses to. I am sorry. I was under the understanding that you were the priest of miracles. Were you not? Yes, I am, but well then do a miracle. And at this, the priest just sort of stands there, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I would if I could, but is there anything I can help any of the rest of you with? Yes, young boy, yes.
This is. I didn't want to go in. I wanted to look at the rocks.
You wanted to look at the rocks, okay.
Yep. So I'm not there. Just.
Good to know. So Felix has actually lingered outside and is staring at the rocks outside. The rest of you, he turns his question towards you. I can pray and I can beg our eternal God for your salvation. If you would simply offer a petition and a small offering at the altar, I can put your name into our weekly service. Can I please help you with anything else?
We appreciate your offer. And it's very kind of you to offer your services, but I don't believe I will be needing any personally. I don't want to speak for the group.
Nothing.
Do I have to disclose reason for prayer? Can I just put it in? Is it just my name is down? It's just whatever he needs.
Well, we do ask that you make a small donation to our services, and then we will put your name into the reading of the names to be blessed for that week. And you, sir, and he turns back to Lord Alistair, if you would like to stay in town for a month, next month we should have space in the next ritual. I only take 5 or so miracles to heal every month, but if you would like to stay, and Lord Alistair just sort of huffs and turns on his heel and walks out. Right, well, would the rest of you, can I I am sorry.
Oh. B, you helped us out more than you could know today.
Right. And at this point, let's jump quickly to Felix during this whole conversation that's happening.
I'm looking for any arcane runes, specifically things that looked similar to what we found on Juss's stuff. Anything that hits at chaos magic.
You
You know,
see very
anything like
similar
that.
runes. Are you flashing your eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so very similar to what you saw at Yuss's. You see this same strange ancient language that you don't quite recognize, carved into these standing stones, much better preserved than the ones behind Juss's house. Um, and when you flash your eyes, you see that they seem to pulse almost a small purplish glow. Uh, each one,
I'm
if you go around the stones, has the same effect.
I'm like drawing each like marking.
Oh, you're recording them in your notebook, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can record them. You can even take rubbings of them if you so prefer.
Yep.
You see at some point you see the huffing figure of Lord Alistair stomp right out of the church, and you look over and he just sort of sighs and makes his way down the steps. And the hustling figure of Elsie right behind him. All of you inside, as the silence descends over the church, the priest not quite sure what to say, the rest of you not quite sure what to do. The priest at some point looks at you all. Right, well, if you're not here for a donation or for a prayer, I do have a few souls that I need to deliver from their journeys. If you
So sorry, we'll be heading out now.
Yes, thank you. And as he goes to turn, you actually hear as he turns away, and then a commotion sounds from right outside the door. Felix, you see this first. You see a small figure in what appears to be draped robes of ornate finery running through the gates, crashing through the gates, and they're frantic, they're stumbling, they see the stairs, and they're sprinting up the stairs, and they burst through the church doors with a slam. As you all turn, and you see what appears to be a young figure, Reese, you recognize the same uniform as the dead figure you'd found the night before. And they burst in, they're like, please, help, we were attacked, and there were things, and there were beasts, and we were supposed to, please, you have to help me. And as they collapse at the feet of the priest, that is where we are going to take a break for today.